Hi, this is Carrie Johnson with the Iowa Department of Management, and this is the third video in the Tax Increment Financing Administration and the Property Valuation System web series. This particular video is going to talk about dealing with TIF areas, urban renewal areas, adding those and working with those, assigning increment districts to those. It really kind of goes hand in hand with the second video that was talking about adding TIF tax districts. So please be sure to review both videos if you have a new TIF area that's going on within your county. If you're looking for more information generally on the property valuation system, you're going to want to review the series Property Valuation System Basics. So we're talking about sort of the second piece and setting up TIF areas. So in this case, we've assumed that you've added some increment districts and you're going to want to set up TIF areas or do work on the TIF areas within your county. So in order to make these changes, you're going to want to log into the property valuation system by going to dom.iowa.gov/counties. And of course, you select Submit Valuations. You will log into the system using your Enterprise A&A account ID and password. Okay, so what are TIF areas? A TIF area is a geographic area authorized to generate TIF tax revenue. A TIF authority may have more or one TIF areas. Some cities merge by ordinance individual TIF areas into a single combined TIF areas. Some cities have designated their whole city as a TIF area. So there's all sorts of different looks that these can have, right? So you're going to want to carefully review the urban renewal area plans that you receive for TIF within your county, and also the ordinances that are going to set up the division of TIF revenue. So carefully review those when you receive them, and if you're confused by anything you're looking at, follow up with the TIF authority and their attorney. So you can and you may need to create, delete, or edit TIF areas, and you're going to use the property valuation system to create, name, and assign sequential numbers to TIF areas, and then to associate TIF increment taxing districts with the appropriate TIF area, again, as defined by the ordinance of the TIF authority. So we do have suggested naming conventions for those TIF areas. For example, a naming convention for a city urban renewal TIF area would be city name and then the area name and then the words urban renewal after it. So in this example, we have Pella Corridor Urban Renewal. For a county, very similar, just with the county name in front of it. So Benton County, Becca Urban Renewal. And jobs training, similar, the company name and then the words jobs training for a community college jobs training area. And these naming conventions are found within your valuation instructions if you have any questions. So how do you, in the system, then create or modify a TIF area? You're going to log in and select View Edit, and you're going to go to Modify TIF Areas. So this is what the screen looks like. Your existing TIF areas are populated at the top. You have an option to edit those, and here's your option in the middle to create a new TIF area. It's going to show for whichever TIF area you have selected from the drop-down the associated increment districts that are currently associated in the system. And it's also going to show over here any available TIF increment districts. So if we want to create a new TIF area, in the middle of the screen, you'll see this option to create a new TIF area. And again, the system will populate for you the next available sequential number. Here's where you type in your name. You're going to want to use those naming conventions again. And in this case, we have ABC City, New Development, and then Urban Renewal. And you do an Add TIF Area. So then we can see that this new TIF area that we created is an option under the drop-down menu. So we can select it. And we can then go down to the bottom and associate that new increment district that we had already created with this TIF area. So we go over, we highlight that increment district and use the arrow to select it and add it as an associated district. So this is what we would expect it to look like after we added the area. So that's just in general how you would add a TIF area. You can see from that screen, you can also do any sort of modification as far as editing the name of the area deleting the area, that sort of thing. Or if you have an existing area, say you had added a increment district that simply needed to be associated with an existing area, you would do the same thing. You would select the existing area from the drop down, use the arrow to then select and highlight and move that available increment district over to an existing area if that were the case. If you have any questions regarding adding TIF areas or anything else regarding this process, please contact me at 515-281-5598 or Carrie.Johnson at iowa.gov. Thank you.